recap, along with a link to this recording that will take you to a YouTube channel where you can find all of the classes that I teach. You can also feel free to reach back out to me or your local field marketing specialist if you have any questions. We're going to discuss how you can best use Design Concierge and your local team to help you develop your own brand. I'm going to go through a live demo of Design Concierge, talk about some of the stuff in the semi-custom as well as the fully custom side of the program that is available for you guys to leverage. And then we'll have a brief Q&A period, all wrapping up in about a half hour. I'm going to try and get you guys out of here on time. So to do that, I'm going to ask that everyone please remain muted through the entirety of the sessions. If you do have any questions, you can feel free to utilize the chat. I will check the chat at any point to see if you have at the end, sorry, to see if you have any questions. And I will also open up the floor during that question and answer period for any questions. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and dive us into Design Concierge. So again, you're going to see my screen kind of go back to me for a second, and then I'm going to reshare it off of the slideshow. So we're starting in Design Concierge because that's where a lot of our brand building tools live. But before you really get into all of the bells and whistles, and before I dive into the actual demo of everything, I just want to talk about, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit to make things a little bit easier to look at. I just want to talk about some of the ways you can get the most bang for your buck out of Design Concierge, because it is, think of them as an in-house design team that you get to leverage from the company. So not only are they developing assets that will work always within our brand standards and within the MLS standards that you have, but they'll build something for you that you can be happy with, and you have the full support of the company behind you to help drive the success of that. And you really want to leverage your team. I've worked with a lot of my agents on several items inside of the Design Concierge platform, which we're in right now. And if you didn't see, I got to that from my desk, and it's this tile right here that I've highlighted that we're looking at. Design Concierge will ask you to create an account, a profile, for a lack of better terms. You can create one with your desk email, and then once you have one, you can sign in. You'll be able to manage all of your projects, and your profile will be something that you can come in and be sure is up to date in regards to contacts. It should all pull in from the business once you set up the account. But I digress. What we want to talk about is how you can best leverage this tool for your business. So I always talk with my agents about how everybody's different. And this is where you want to start by talking maybe with your field marketing specialist and your manager about what does your business need? What do you have in the marketplace? Are you new? Are you established? Do you have feel like you've hit a plateau? Are you growing to a point where you need to carve out your own space and build something that can be memorable for your clients? You know, figure out what that situation is, and also figure out where your budget lives, because all of these different tools come at various costs that you want to take into account to make sure that you don't overtax your business at any given point through the process. So having a good business plan informs a great marketing plan and will help make sure that you're building something that's, again, growing towards your success. So depending on what your business needs, that's where you want to start thinking about how you want to leverage this platform. So whether you are just looking for the building of a brand and going into a logo, or you want to use one of the packages, which are fantastic. I'm a big fan of the Disruptor package. We're going to go into what's in the packages in just a bit. But as you can see, there's a lot of handy, I want to say high use ticket items right up front that are clickable. You can also go right to the custom design section, which we'll also preview in just a sec. But what I want to show you first is this little menu on the side. So you can see semi-custom designs, and this is, there you go. When you click on it, we'll drop down and give you all of the what are semi-custom products that come at a fixed cost. So if budget is something that you need to take into account, this would be the first place you want to start. And you can look at any piece, including logo. And I want to start here because I can kind of show you how to walk through this process relatively quickly. These start at $79, and they're a nice, great way to get yourself started on a budget if developing a brand identity is something you want to do quickly. You're going to choose your office, or your area and your office, which will be different for you when you log in. And then you'll see a handful of great logos that you can start and kind of build within a handful of limitations to be your new brand identity. Let's say I like this one, and as you see, when you click items, they will gain a little heart next to them. You can favorite things that you like, and then choose from your favorites with this little blue arrow to move next. Now I want to choose, I've got my favorites, I want to choose the one I want to work with and build my logo around. Let's say I really like this one. So I'm going to go in here, and in this editor is where you can work through a semi-custom logo on your own. So if you don't want to use the entire custom side that we're going to talk about in just a minute, you can go through this process and kind of build something that you feel expresses you and is a great visual representation of your brand, and do it all on a great budget. There's an entire walkthrough video that you'll be able to view here, but you know, you guys have the option of being in this class. So all you would do is type in your information, and let's say, okay, I do want to keep it all caps when I'm looking at that. You can adjust the font. Oops. Within a handful of pre-selected fonts, I can adjust the spacing. As I can see, this isn't quite centered, so I want to do this. I can change the colors. And if I've got a basic idea of what I'm looking at here, but I do want to make some fine tweaks, like I'd like these to all be a bit farther apart and for everything to be nice and centered, I can add these into my notes, and then you can check out to have the logo sent to the designer, who will finalize the design for you, and you can get started within a handful of business days, about 3 to 5 business days, with a brand new brand that you can walk away with. You can also save, give this project a name, and say, you know, you're working with your field marketing specialist on developing an entire identity and figuring out how this all fits, but you're not 100% set on something. You can save something, and then you can visit it again in My Projects. Sorry, it's going to take a sec to load sometimes because I'm sharing my screen and recording and all that great stuff. But now that we're back from our commercial break, you can see here, there's your logo, there's what it's going to cost, and I can either move forward and purchase, or I could delete it. If I wanted to review it, I can click, see what I had, and I can move into other logos. I could also maybe take a look at the social media headers. Once you've got a logo, that's kind of your nexus point, right? That'll be something that you get to build into other assets that you can leverage for all of the marketing collateral that you have that your business uses. Or if you already have a logo and you want to incorporate something into a personal brochure that's templated, or a property marketing template, and you don't necessarily need something fully custom, but you want to leverage something that you already have and grow it into something, you've got a bunch of great semi-custom items that you can choose from. You can upload your logo. And again, use the sample marketing to build, any sample marketing you have to build something with a designer for a relatively low cost when it comes to, custom packages that you can, again, leverage with your own brand identity. Now, beyond the semi-custom stuff, I'm going to just click on the actual page so you can see everything made available again. We've also got custom designs. And just like you'd imagine, for the semi-custom side, you've got a handful of great items that you can make, but these are all going to be something you're working with a designer from a zero nexus point to really develop something that is personal and yours. And again, using the examples of agents I've worked with, this is where working with your field marketing specialist comes in handy, because you've got someone available to you before you dive in to a estimated media cost to have something created, to have the conversation when it comes to something like a logo. Some of the things you're going to walk through when you're building a logo is, what are brands that are important to you? What are brands that speak to you? What are color patterns and typesets that speak to you? And if you can start to hammer this stuff out with your field marketing specialist and have the kind of notes ready, you can go through this process and again come out leveraging something that looks beautiful and unique to you. And I've got a ton of examples that we'll show in the portfolio. I'm also going to link the portfolio so you can look at some real examples of what the team has churned out in the last year or so in the recap that you get. But it'll give you the best mileage and, more importantly, help you go through this process in a way that, again, leverages the best of everything that you want out of this brand so you can get it right out of the gate the first time around. And whatever you want it to be will be built, if you go into the custom side, it'll be built to you. And that's the beauty of it here. And any of these items all have just like you saw on the semi-custom side, all have a little template questionnaire that you'll walk through. You can receive an estimate, or you can start your project now if you've already hammered out all the details with your field marketing specialist. And then again, you'll give it a name, update any necessary assets or pick any necessary information, and then move forward with that order. If you're looking at something like a bio, for example, there's a questionnaire that you'll fill out. I will send you guys a copy of the questions that you'll be asked, so you can kind of start to think about this stuff and again work with your field marketing specialist. It is this worksheet right here. As you can see, there's a ton of great questions. I'm going to email this to you guys in the recap. But if you're working on a bio, that's what you'll have to fill in as you're going through this order. And again, before you go through something and pull the trigger, instead of paying for an estimate, you can dive right into the project and leverage the team that you already have to do all of this great stuff for you. You can do signage. I've got an agent in my Monterey office, in my Carmel office, that won Best New Agent this year. We're doing a custom ad through Design Concierge. There's all kinds of amazing things that you can have developed to represent your brand and that meet your business needs. Again, you don't want to just hop in here all wild and crazy and buy out the whole shop. You want to make sure you do something that works for your brand, has a purpose, and can help your business grow and do what we want to and help you get more business and then make more money as an agent and then meet whatever the goals you have set for your business. I want to end here on the packages. How am I doing for time? I'm doing good for time. I'm going to end here on the packages and show you there's 2 packages that you can get. Again, let's say you work with your field marketing specialist and you are looking at your business plan and okay, I have the time and the assets to be able to invest and go with a brand boost or a disruptor package. Now, the difference between the brand boost and the disruptor package is there's a cost difference, obviously, and then there's the overall semi-custom bundle, kind of think of the brand boost as a semi-custom bundle with, sorry, it's going back and forth a lot on me, and I'm just going to get it to settle here. Brand boost is what I was looking for. Now that we're here, you can get a custom logo, custom business card. You get a semi-custom Outlook signature, semi-custom email and social media headers, and a custom bio. All of that gets bundled for, I believe, $4.99. And then the disruptor package, which gives you basically an entire brand book and asset suite. All of the custom logos come with what's called a brand book. If you are unfamiliar with the term, it's something that will include the logo, all of the colors down to the Pantones that are being used, the fonts that are being used, and that way you can incorporate those through all of the other items. But if you get it in a bundle, you get all of those items kind of built out for you in steps. Plus, the disruptor package includes a custom property website that you get from Luxury Presence. So if you're really looking to get your business to that next level, these websites are fantastic. They're managed by a luxury, you get to work with a luxury concierge rep from the global luxury, from Luxury Presence, sorry. They'll build your website with you, and then you get a handful of templates that they've built specifically for Coldwell bankers. So they're not things that are made available to the public that they're retailing their websites to. You get to really build something that's unique. There is a hosting fee associated with that, just like there would be a hosting fee if you built a website with, you know, Monster or Property Minder or whomever. But again, if that's something you can incorporate, you can see here you get a custom logo, custom business cards, you get the semi-custom, everything up, including the bio, plus you also get a personal brochure, a full advertising template that you get to use where you're for any kind of print media that you're using, semi-custom personal website, which is the Luxury Presence website, and then a listing concierge property marketing template. So you get to leverage all of this stuff through every listing concierge order that you're getting as well. Outside of that, I'm going to wrap with just a brief run through of a handful of examples in the portfolio gallery. I'm going to send this to you guys as an example so you can review on your own time, and again with your SSA or your field marketing specialist, if you're looking to start the process of developing your own identity. Here are some semi-custom logos. I'm going to jump down. You can see some full custom logos. We've also got examples of business cards. And I jump even further. You've got examples of brochures and postcards. Everything, you know, is top quality, and of course it's all being done internally. So if you have any issues, if there are any, you can always go right up to your team and get the problem solved. I'm going to go ahead and stop talking and see if there are any questions. Stop sharing my screen. If I can get back to the app, feel free to unmute yourself. I'm also going to look at the chat. I'm sure I kind of threw a lot at everybody. So if you have any questions, feel free to fire away. I do not see anything in the chat. So does anyone want to unmute themselves? Where do you find your field marketing specialist? Feel free to ask your manager. Let me see. You're in Los Gatos. That is Amanda Hamchuk in your office. Amanda is actually a dedicated field marketing specialist for that office. Any other questions? I am more than happy to help. And feel free to tell Amanda that Anuj said that you should bother her. Anything else I can do for anybody? Feel free. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording if there aren't any questions. I do have a brief link to a survey that I'm going to post in the chat. It will also appear in the recap that you'll get with the recording of this session. I hope everybody has found this valuable. I'm assuming everybody did, because there aren't any questions. You guys are just kind of absorbing and thinking about all of this stuff. If you don't get the recap in about 30 minutes or less, the class was free. I hope everybody has a great rest of your week.